Hi, in this video, I will discuss about how we can create a pivot table on dynamic data sets. So how we can make it dynamic of data sets? So you have to use the offset function to make your data dynamic on pivot table. So let's see how we can do it. So here I have taken a phrase Excel. Now I'm just copying the data. So here I'm taking data from this Excel file. I just copy it and paste. So here I'm just making copy of this data, copied it, and here I will paste. So moving on this Excel file, taking new Excel file, paste it. Now here I'm telling you how we can create a dynamic pivot table. So for dynamic pivot table, you have to select it and press Alt D P. Alt DP is a shortcut to create a pivot table. Now, if you want to take long cut, then you have to go to insert, go to pivot table, and click on OK. Now you will get a pivot table in new sheet. So here I'm taking a pivot table on new sheet. So you have to go to department, and here I'm taking total salary. Okay. So now what I have to do here, I have taken department wise salary. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 departments. So whenever I will put down new department into this data set, same department's data, whatever department data I will put here, same department data I will take into this pivot table whenever I will refresh it. So how we can do it? So first you have to go to this sheet and you have to make a dynamic range. So you have to go to formula, go to define name, and you have to take here dynamic range name. So here I'm taking dynamic range name as a my data. Come down and you have to expand this window. Now you need to apply here offset function. In offset function, you have to pass here 5 parameters. Your first parameter is reference. So you have to take reference of first data, comma, then you have to take 0 row movement, comma, 0 column movement, comma, fourth parameter is height. So for height, you need to apply here count function, count a function. Always you have to use count a function. Count a function works on alpha and both numerical value as well. Okay. So taking count A, then you have to take reference of complete A column. I have clicked on A column. I have taken complete data of A column, bracket close, comma. For width, you need to apply here count A function, bracket start. You have to count complete data of header, or you can take any row count. Okay, it's not mandatory you have to take header. I have taken complete row count, sorry, column count through the header. Bracket close. Here I have closed 2 bracket. First bracket is for count A and last bracket is closed for offset. My dynamic range name is my data. Click on OK. So now what you have to do, you have to pass here dynamic range name. So how we can pass? So you have to put your pointer on pivot table, go to option and go to data source. And here you need to pass data source name my data. Okay. Click on OK. Now, so as of now, your total salary of HR department is 2,25,000. Now I'm putting few more data here. So here I'm taking A100, and here I'm taking Ritika, and here I'm taking HR department and taking salary 40,000, and here I'm taking 10,000, 5,000, 15,000, and total is equal to sum and sum. Sum, then you have to take sum of data, enter. Now 70,000. As of now, you have 2 lakhs 25,000. Now you have to refresh this pivot table. Right click, refresh it. Now you can see your data is increased. Your amount is increased. If I put down new departments here, suppose I'm taking, as of now, you don't have any operational department. So here I want to add few more departments like suppose I'm just removing the Ritika from HR department. I'm taking here operation, salary is same. Now I'm taking one more A200, and here I'm taking Avinash, and taking here analytics department, and here I'm taking 34,000 and 20,000, 5,000, 2,000 equal to sum, enter. Now you have to go there and refresh it. So see here, operation and analytics department automatically added. So this is the actual use of dynamic pivot table. Okay, so now I'm just creating a static pivot table again. So you have to select it, Alt DP, and click on next. Click here, I'm taking static. Okay, so no need to take here dynamic rename. Click on next, and existing sheet you have to create. So you have to create a pivot table on this cell. So see here, I'm taking same. Okay, so you are getting same data. Okay, so see here, analytics and operations here. But whenever I will remove the data from there, so here I'm just removing both the data. Okay, I'm just removing it. Now it will refresh both the pivot tables. So right click, refresh, both the department is gone. Okay, here I'm adding, refreshing, done. Now what I have to do here, I'm just adding 4 departments. So here I'm adding A100, A100, XYZ, HR, and here I'm taking 40,000, 4,000, 3,000, 3,500. Okay, equal to sum, and taking this. Okay, enter. Now here I'm taking A200, MNO. Here I'm taking operation. Okay, 50,000, 2,500, 2,300, 2,20,000 equal to sum. So no need to take here sum. You have to drag this function. Now this two departments will be added in both the pivot table. You can see here operations, and here I'm taking analytics. Okay, and here I'm taking one more A300. Okay, taking here ABC, and here I'm taking payroll, payment. I'm taking here payment. And here I'm taking 34,000 and 23,000, 2,000, 20,000, so 8,000. And here I'm taking sum of this. So now in both the pivot table, you will get both the data, analytics and operation, but payment data you will not get in static pivot table. So this is the static pivot table. So you will not get payment department here. Payment department data you will not get. So no one department you will get, you will not get here. Why? Because the data source is fixed here. So see here, my data source. This is my data source H A1 to H50. Okay, so no one data is refreshing. And but if I talk about this one, so it will refresh both the data. You can see here, operational analytics and payment data is reflecting into this pivot table. So this is the dynamic pivot table. This is a static pivot table. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you so much.